Outlaw Lawyer.
Welcome back into the Outlaw Lawyer. We have Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer, managing partners at Whitaker and Hamer Law Firm. They're also practicing attorneys here in North Carolina. Our guest on set is Cassandra Nicholas. She's also an attorney at Whitaker and Hamer. I'm Morgan Patrick, consumer advocate. If you've got a legal situation that you are facing, I've got a phone number for you. It's 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. Leave your contact information, briefly what that call is about, and somebody with Whitaker and Hamer, an attorney, will be in touch, and you can have that discussion. Also, you can email your questions to the show, questions@theoutlawlawyer.com. It's been an interesting show already, guys. Where are we going next?
Well, Morgan, when I do my prep for the show, I always like to look at what's in the news, and sometimes I'll pick stuff that I'm not very familiar with, and so this next story is not one that I am intimately familiar with. I just started reading about it today, but I'm guessing a popular musical artist, Young Thug, was arrested.
It's about time we got into some important legal issues on this show.
Was arrested, and this is kind of a crazy charge. This is RICO. Right, so
yeah.
you hear that a lot. Someone being brought up on RICO charges. Cassandra, what does that actually even mean?
It is the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act.
So that became a thing. That's a federal law that was passed in like this. I don't know. It was like late '60s, early '70s. The feds were trying to track down
organized crime.
Organized crime, yeah, like mobsters. Yeah, it's like the heads
yeah.
of these organizations that didn't actually physically commit crimes, right? So they didn't kill people, right? They didn't commit murder. Yeah. They weren't out there committing larceny. They weren't out there selling the drugs, but they were in charge of the operation that was doing it, and it was very hard to make any kind of charges stick under the regular statutory scheme. So this RICO legislation came along that made them, if you prove certain things, even though... So here they're accusing Young Thug of a lot of things, including murder. I mean, there's like 50 some
basically
charges.
like heading a criminal enterprise, basically.
But the RICO allows you, like Joe, if you were heading a criminal enterprise, even though you may
air
not
quotes,
even though you may not have actually committed a murder, they can stick you with a murder charge via RICO. So RICO became a very popular way to take out these organized crime syndicates.
The 70s, man. Like so they use this to go after a lot of mobsters. So give me like your when you think of like a tough, like stone cold killer type of mobster type. What comes to mind for you?
Tony Soprano.
Okay, Tony Soprano. You take Tony Soprano, and then you put Young Thug beside him, who's a slender, taller man that wears dresses generally.
I read that.
Yeah, he's a dress guy, and it's just like it's crazy to think the wide breadth of things that you can go after with the statute. But yeah, Young Thug, I could have, like, I would have bet anything you were a big Young Thug guy.
So my, no, I'm not. I'm not.
Yeah. You know his dad, Old Thug.
Yeah, we went to high school together.
Yeah, no,
Older Thug.
That's the thing about Young. Like, there's a lot of young rappers. That's you forever. Like, there's no transition.
Yeah, I don't understand.
Where you become middle-aged or old Thug.
So, I came up during, Biggie Smalls and Wu-Tang, and that's the kind of stuff I enjoy, right?
Yeah.
I enjoy that. About 2003, I checked out.
Sure.
Right? I didn't, everybody has that age, and Joe, maybe you haven't hit it yet.
Cassandra, man. I'm not a big Young. I mean, I'm not the biggest Young Thug fan. Like some songs, you can just get into for whatever reason. Like he was one of the first guys that I would consider like kind of a mumble rapper, where you don't really understand much of what he just makes a lot of like noises like that.
The author in the article in our materials called his music melodic, mournful flow.
Yeah, there's a lot of like if you
but to a melody.
If you had a stomach ache and you were in bed writhing in pain and someone put a microphone, that's pretty good. That's a lot of like what it sounds like, man.
So my boys will tell me about little somebody, right, or baby somebody, or and I was making fun of them for that, and I imagine that's a lot like my parents. Like I was a big Ice-T kid.
Sure.
Like I liked Ice-T.
Yeah. I like
the beverage,
yes.
and I also enjoy the artist.
I would drink gallons. That's a story for another day, but gallons of iced tea into my body.
Yeah.
How I survive.
But Ice-T and Ice Cube, my parents used to make fun of that when I was a kid. Like, but yeah.
You Ice-T or Ice Cube?
Are you just
right now?
Are you just little You know, like, was it Lil Baby? That's what one of my
Lil
kids
Baby,
was
there's
saying.
there's Lil Baby, there's Da Baby, there's Lil Baby. It confuses people.
It's not a new thing. Like in the 90s, there was Lil Romeo, and he eventually did drop. He's just Romeo now.
I feel like I would be willing to bet that some of Lil Romeo's music appears on Alley Cat's Strikes. That would be.
Way to tie the segments together.
Yeah.
Joe.
We should
Nice.
Google the soundtrack though. See, there's probably is like a soundtrack. That
Oh
came
yeah,
out.
there's definitely
For
a
sure.
soundtrack. But
But you don't see this RICO statute. You just don't see it that much anymore, or maybe you just don't hear about it that much.
no, and I think beyond the whole RICO aspect, and I guess it is relevant to the RICO aspect, but something you have seen. You don't see it a ton, but you have seen this kind of the idea that things that rappers rap about being kind of used against them,
Right, that was
in criminal proceedings. That's really that's a big part of the issue here. So, and
of
it's
his
tough,
lyrics.
man, because you look at the lyrics and you read them, and yeah, they can read like admitting to murdering people, but like that's rap music, man. Like that is not all rap music, but a lot of rap music is kind of rooted in things of that nature and singing of things of that nature, and it's storytelling, right?
It's just like it's just like if you were a fiction writer and you wrote all these murder.
100%, man. Like
but there's
Stephen
a
King's
difference
not
if
out there
you-
murdering everybody, you know.
We don't think.
But there are no murders associated with Stephen King.
Sure.
Whereas in this instance, Young Thug is a founder and organizer of YSL.
Allegedly, is that allegedly
Are you
or is
a
that just a thing?
I don't think that this is allegedly. I think he is affiliated with YSL, which is Young Slime Life. And then allegedly, Young Slime Life is a criminal street gang, allegedly.
I don't think it's alleged that Young Slime Life is a criminal street gang. I
Well,
think it is a
and-
criminal street gang. I think it's alleged that he is the head of YSL. So, you remember? Okay.
Not a card carrying
Not in
member.
the demographic for that.
But they're associated with murder, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, armed robbery, carjacking, theft, and drug dealing. So through RICO, those are all
Right.
the things that he's...
Yeah, RICO's just trying to hold him liable for crimes other people committed allegedly on his watch, on his command. And so, the feds, for better or worse, when they proceed with charges, they build a very good case. You don't usually there's something there. There's at least smoke, right? You may not be guilty of the crimes that you get charged with, but the feds usually do their best to build a pretty strong case. So this just came to light. He was just arrested this week, I think. So this will be interesting. But a lot of the news articles I read were kind of saying like you said, Joe, like some of the things that he speaks to in his music might be held against him in some way, which would be crazy. I imagine a good lawyer can get rid of that.
Yeah. You'd have to, if that's how you looked at it, you'd have to arrest a lot of people, man, because there's a lot of songs out there,
Right.
including some from your guy Ice-T, probably. If we're
I tell you,
looking back.
Ice-T's done a good job staying in the public eye because he's on that show I don't watch.
Every
Law
show
and Order,
that you don't
Yeah,
watch.
yeah.
SVU.
But that's the only my truck is a 2016. My truck came with a CD player, right? So I don't think that's an option. I don't think you can even get that if you want it anymore. Right?
My car has a cassette player, so
Okay.
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
I'll let you borrow my Ice-T Original Gangster. I have the
appreciate that.
cassette and the CD, but that's the only CD I have in my entire truck, and it's in there, right? So if I ever switch to,
It won't come out.
well, it'll come out, but why would you
Why
take it
would
out?
you take it out? Yeah.
If I get
Just let it merge with the car.
Yeah,
Become one with it.
if the radio, if there's nothing on the radio, and I'm flipping around, there's nothing on my phone I want to play, and I get to the CD.
Yeah.
That's the only CD I want to hear.
Yeah. Okay.
I bet you that's something you didn't know before today.
No, I did not. I've learned a lot of things about you, man. Learned a lot of things.
Yeah, we've all learned quite a bit today. The Outlaw Lawyers, Josh Whitaker and Joe Hamer, our special guests in studio, Cassandra Nicholas. And again, she is a practicing attorney also at Whitaker and Hamer. And this portion of the program has been melodic, it has been mournful, and it has flowed quite well. We are going to come back on the other side and we'll wrap this up. If you've got a legal situation that you're facing, I've got a phone number for you, 800-659-1186. That's 800-659-1186. Leave your contact information, briefly what the call is about, and an attorney with Whitaker and Hamer will be in touch. And you can also email your question to the program. We'll answer it on a future show. Questions at theoutlawlawyer.com.